Welcome to Talk to SATB, where we dive deep into the discussions of most pressing global and national issues. Today is 8th March, International Women's Day. Who better could be our guest today than the Honorable Charge d'Affaires, His Excellency Andrew Carsten. He has been serving on this role since 2025. Welcome to the show, sir. Netherlands sees gender equality as both human rights imperative and indispensable force for sustainable development, peace and social progress. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you on this show on the day of International Women's Day. Sir, my first question to you, Netherlands was one of the first countries, European countries, that recognized sovereign Bangladesh. And after that recognition, we have moved forward. So our relationship has moved forward as well. We have cooperations. So how do you envisage our relationship? And how do you analyze or how do you put significance of our past relationship between Bangladesh and Netherlands?
Well, as you rightfully mentioned, we were one of the first to recognize newly independent Bangladesh. And ever since, we have been working very hard to support Bangladesh in a very consistent manner. So, for example, in the field of water development, where Bangladesh was challenged with a lot of issues, and both of our countries are living in a river delta, so we have a lot in common, and there we were able to bring in our knowledge and technology. And also in many other issues like agriculture. We are a lead nation in terms of agriculture. Bangladesh has a lot of mouth to feed, and therefore it was very helpful to bring in Dutch technology again. But now that Bangladesh is gradually moving into the direction of a middle-income country.
From least development country.
Yeah. So we see and we feel that we need to recalibrate our relations. So we have become equal partners. So it is becoming a two-way street. We are learning from you as well as you are learning from us. And so therefore we are bringing in business delegations for trade opportunities. We are working with so-called combination tracks in which we blend in elements of development cooperation and in addition business opportunities. So that's going very well. And in addition, we have a keen eye, and not just because it's Women's Day, it is on our radar for many, many years, because as we believe in equal partnership between Bangladesh and the Netherlands, we also believe in equal opportunities for men and women and girls. So that's what we're focusing on in media cooperation, in terms of, well, for example, the RMG sector, the garment industry, where many women have their employment. We have been struggling together with Bangladesh again for better labor conditions. And we have a pilot since only a couple of years, the so-called Orange Corners, where we help startups and young entrepreneurs to set up their business. And again, we have a very strong female component. And I have the impression that women are even doing better than men in setting up these businesses. So we have a very strong track record, and we are moving forward in all these spheres. So yeah, let's move together.
Could you highlight some key initiatives that the Netherlands has undertaken in Bangladesh to promote gender inclusivity and women empowerment? And how do these initiatives align with broader national development goals?
Well, it's not just national goals, it's also sustainable development goals on a global scale. So these are basically the same, and they point into the same direction, which is inclusivity, which has also a strong focus on youth and the next generation, which is super important for Bangladesh, as they took the lead in the vital changes you had only half a year ago, and we just had the month of
Ramadan.
That is upcoming, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And but there was the month of organized by Dr. Yunus to promote the participation of youth, and we brought in our youth ambassador. He was here and took part in many activities. He had a meeting with all the key figures, including Dr. Yunus himself. So we help a lot, and we push very hard to join forces on all these good issues.
So the policy not only outlines domestic measures, but also it leverages international cooperation to advance the rights of women and girls around the world. So could you highlight some key initiatives that Netherlands has undertaken in Bangladesh to promote gender inclusivity and women empowerment? And how do you envisage that Bangladesh would work on women empowerment?
Well, it is a consistent element of our policy, and we blend it in all of our sectors, so both in the economic field and other spheres we are operating in. So, for example, I like to mention agriculture, in which there is a strong emphasis on market access.
True.
For women. We focus on business innovation, entrepreneurship, and as you know, we have a strong emphasis on the garment industry sector, where again female workers consist of a large component of.
They're a larger workforce, sir.
Yeah.
Almost half of the population is women.
Yeah. And we have been pushing very hard, and that's being well received, to improve labor conditions and a decent salary for female workers. We have been, or we are still working on a so-called circular textile hackathon,
Wow.
which is a fancy initiative to foster innovation in sustainable textile. And we support female leadership for decision making in business, and we have an emphasis on gender sensitive media and digital literacy. So another nice example is the murals we have on the walls of our embassy. They were made by young women.
Wow.
So that is another one. And in our social projects, we have a consistent element of disencouraging child marriages. And we believe this is still a matter of concern, and we support initiatives to promote girls to have a normal youth in which they can enjoy education and make their own choices in life, because we fight for equal opportunities. So, and then when it comes to media, and well, this is in fact part of it,
exactly.
we promote gender balanced narratives. So all in all, we believe that, as you mentioned, equal opportunities are essential to create a better society. It is in the end a win-win, because you include larger percentage of your population in economical and other societal activities.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to go on a short break. Do come back after the break. Welcome to Talk to S.A.Channel again. Before the break, we were discussing about how Kingdom of Netherlands is helping us for ensuring labor rights, for ensuring better work condition of women, as well as restrainment of child marriages. So that part was there. So where Netherlands was focusing on aid, now they're shifting from aid to trade. So Bangladesh is transforming themselves from LDC, least developed country, to a developing country. So how do you see the future Netherlands-Bangladesh relation, particularly in terms of moving from aid to trade, where aid-based cooperation to more trade-based investment-driven partnership? How do you envisage it in the future?
Well, first of all, I would like to be very clear that we stick to our promises. So there where we have signed contracts and we feel obligations, we will bring them to an end. But as you rightfully said, the emphasis is shifting towards more equal relations, which is a good thing. So I'm happy to see Bangladesh developing into this higher echelon, if you like. And we also believe that we can create, and we are already doing it, a two-way street in which we can learn from you as you are learning from us. And this will enhance investment. It will bring in more trade delegations. And meanwhile, we will have plenty of opportunities to engage other forms of funding, like IFIs, international financial institutions, seed money. So as the situation will evolve, we will develop together with you.
But what about the role of civil society? Because we know the civil society is indispensable for ensuring accountability. And Bangladesh has a very strong civil society organization. So what strategies do you believe are essential for ensuring sustainability and continued impact of civil society organizations in Bangladesh?
Well, as you said, the Bangladesh civil society is mature, resilient, and a very important player in your national, transformation towards a strong, promising, and we will continue to cooperate.
Because you have always supported the civil society to a sustainable democracy. So where are we moving forward with it? Like, do you see that there is any more effort that should be put on strong, sustainable civil society organization?
Yes, we see it developing, and we also see that it is no longer a one-way street. It is more and more the case that we are invited, like here, for example, by a state-of-the-art media company, part of a broader organization. And
so that itself creates a strong civil society, and it itself creates an environment for freedom of expression as well. So I hope we will continue on that path. And
definitely.
And the continuous support that you have given. So
definitely. And the kind of mix we will be using is more and more under the umbrella of the so-called combination tracks. So we will make use of seed money and funds we are using in order to spiral a more economically oriented development, which will also help other spheres of public life, such as the media, such as women and girls in particular sectors, not just textile but also agriculture and female entrepreneurship, female leadership, role models, and as I said, it is a highly potential win-win multiplier for the rest of the society.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to go on a short break. After the break, do come back because we were discussing a lot of important things about women empowerment on International Women's Day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk to SATV. Before the break, we were discussing about Dutch government's endeavor towards empowerment of women, how they have worked to ensure that safety of women in the workplace, how they have worked to ensure restrainment of child marriages and the better working conditions. Before that, we were discussing about women empowerment. So my question to you, sir, what about the safety in the digital space of women? Because that's equally important as well, and I know there's a project going on. So if you could enlighten us about this project and about this endeavor that you were taking on.
Well, you're right. Indeed, the digital space is becoming more and more important, and we are putting a lot of interest in this. So one of our projects is focusing on fake news, how to debunk false narratives.
Bangladesh is right now. Bangladesh is experiencing this problem because of this fake news. There is a destability in the region.
This project I just mentioned is tailor-made to counter these false narratives in order to turn the digital space into a safe space for men and women, equally important. Then, in addition, there's also the issue of cyberbullying. That's on a smaller scale, but on an individual scale. And the project we support is very much focused on helping young women and other women to become more resilient and to create a better network to react and, to prevent repetition from happening. So yes, there we contribute a large part into
safety of women.
Yeah.
After coming
So
out, after coming out from the university, Utrecht University, back in '88 as a graduate of business and socio-economic law, you have held key diplomatic positions worldwide, from Moscow to Kandahar, tackling counterterrorism and governance at critical times. You served as advisor to the European Counterterrorism Coordinator and ambassador in Kazakhstan. So our viewers will be excited to hear more about this journey.
Well, you didn't mention Afghanistan. I've been there 3 times in my career, and in Georgia. So I've seen quite some places on earth. I've been in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Kuala Lumpur. But I've never been in a place so vibrant and energetic as Bangladesh. So here, in any day or week, it sometimes feels like a month because it's so intense, and all the people are friendly. On a personal note, I see a lot of dogs on the street, which is a perfect indicator of, the kind of friendliness of people. You respect each other, and you even respect other inhabitants of this beautiful planet. So it is a pleasure being here. I enjoy Bangladesh hospitality, and I'm learning a lot. So there you have another kind of two-way street. I'm not just bringing something to you, I'm learning a lot from you.
So did you always want to be a diplomat? while you came out of the university?
Well, it was a dream for quite some time,
Okay.
but you know, it's not that easy to be selected. So, well, I took the procedure as an adventure, and sometimes miracle happens. So I was selected, and I never have regretted this choice in life. In particular, now that I'm enjoying this unique position in the country of Bangladesh.
So, having served in several countries before your appointment as an ambassador, you mentioned Afghanistan. Before coming to Bangladesh, what aspects of your experience in Bangladesh, stand out as a unique one of staying over here? Because the engagement that you did have with the community, as you have mentioned, because you have constant engagement in development work. Now we are moving from aid to trade. So, what aspects of your staying over here has given you a better experience regarding, or have given you a thought that where this country will reach?
Well, what I see in this country, and it's not the first time, but stereotypes do not always comply with reality. For example, the stereotype of Bangladesh as a poor development country, it's so untrue. Bangladesh is full of entrepreneurship. So there I see a real opportunity for Bangladesh to just employ all your talents and become a middle-income country and get access and even speed up economic growth. So, and then another surprise is that Bangladesh has so many inhabitants. Yes, it's full of people. However, still you have a beautiful nature. I've been to the Sundarbans, and I've seen it with my own eyes. 5 crocodiles in a few hours.
Wow.
Tiger footsteps.
Wow.
And so many beautiful birds. So there is this richness, and there is a growing awareness of the local population that this beautiful nature should be preserved. So, yeah, I could go on for hours to, well, name all the good things that I'm finding here and enjoying.
So, the government of Netherlands' equal rights for women and girls policy is a cornerstone of its human rights agenda, reflecting a strong commitment both at home and globally to gender equality. Today at Women's Day, International Women's Day, what are your thoughts on it? Because you have worked in several projects. Dutch governments have taken initiatives on women empowerment projects, like, as you have mentioned, even on your embassy, the major artworks been taken on by women artists. So how do you see that if that workforce work effectively, or if that's been accommodated in a wise way, where do you envisage our country to go in the future?
Well, I believe Bangladesh has a bright future. And one of the success factors is to include women, because that will work as a multiplier. And well, the only thing I might regret that I'm not a woman myself on Women's Day, because that would add to my credibility. But I can assure you, all the audience, you and all the other viewers, that women have always played a very important role in my personal life. I'm luckily married for 35 years. I have 2 daughters and only 1 son.
Wow.
And my 2 sisters and my mother have always been a shining example for me. And it's not a surprise that the first exhibition in the gallery that I have established in the residence was also dedicated to a female Bangladesh artist, who was inspired, by the way, by Vincent van Gogh from the Netherlands. So there we have a circle.
So promoting human rights is one of the fundamentals of Dutch government. So freedom of expression is one of the important part of human rights. So can you enlighten us about your endeavors about promoting freedom of expression in our country?
Well, freedom of expression is one of our principles, so that is also an emphasis of our human rights portfolio. And as you rightfully pointed out, the promotion of human rights is embedded in our constitution, as well as the first article is the equality of men and women and everyone, basically. Equal rights for everybody in the society, and freedom of expression is essential in our view to create equal opportunities, including for women and girls, where in the same time there should be some safeguards. So freedom, yes, it's of vital importance, but in the same time it should be accompanied by the project I already mentioned, and which we wholeheartedly support in this context.
His Excellency Andrew Carsten, thanks for coming to our show. And on this event, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on our show on International Women's Day. And we hope that your endeavors will continue towards a better Bangladesh-Netherlands relationship in the future times. Thank you so much, sir, for coming to the show. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Daunabat.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the event of International Women's Day, it's an absolute pleasure to discuss about the women empowerment, and we have discussed about the endeavors that's been taken by the Dutch Embassy towards empowerment of women. And we have discussed thoroughly about how women could change the society, how we could have a sustainable development by participating more women into the workforce. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. See you on the next week. Till then, Allah Hafiz.